Alright guys, welcome back to the course. So hopefully we are going to complete this student login page in this particular video. Now we've created the results variable now, and we have set it to my SQL iFetch array query. Now the next thing we're going to do here, we are going to create another variable called db username, and this will hold the username from the database. Okay, and we're going to give that to results. Okay, remember we are fetching an array, so an associative array, so the value we're going to give it username. Okay, all right. Now the next thing you're going to do is to create another if block here, and this time around we're going to check if the username the user is giving to us from the form is equal to the one we are getting from the database. Okay, so if username is equals to db username, okay, all right, is equals to db username, we want to return true. Oh, sorry about that. I want to return true. So x, I want to return false. F-A-L-S-E, false. Okay, s, I want to return false. Okay, so I'm just going to add this to spelling, save this db username. Okay, so we are done with this. All right, so we are going to return back to the index page now, and here we're going to add this particular symbol here, which says that if not username, that is if this particular function does not validate to be true, then we're going to throw an exception error. So if not username, remember we're going to take two parameters, the connection and of course the username. Okay, so here you're going to throw an error. I'm going to copy everything here. Just going to copy this message one here and paste. Okay, so still message one, but this time around, instead of saying username is required, we're going to change the message to username does not exist. Okay, username does not exist. All right, so now before I write any more validation check here, I want to quickly scroll down to our page. Okay, so we can start echoing some of these particular errors and check if our code is working or not before we continue very quickly. So I'm going to come down to this particular place, and underneath the span tag I'm going to open PHP. Okay, and here I'm going to echo message one. Yeah, I'm going to echo message one, and also you can echo just by doing this. Okay, so this does the same thing. All right. Okay, this does the same thing with the previous one. This is a shorthand method to echo in PHP. Okay, now we're going to go back to our page and refresh this page. Okay, and we're going to get rid of this connection success message that's coming out there from the config.php file. So come back here, and instead of echoing this, let's leave that empty for now. So come back and refresh the page. Okay, so here I'm going to just get rid of this, and let's try submitting the form without entering okay, let me see what's going on. Okay, we're going to remove the required. Let's remove the default HTML required. Okay, let's get rid of that, and let's try this again. Refresh the page now. Okay, and we're going to try submitting. Okay, why am I not getting any messages? Okay, let's go back to the form and see what's going on. name equals username. Okay. Oh, and we're echoing this here actually, so let's copy this and put it here instead. Okay, and of course let's see, this is message 1. Yeah, definitely message 1. Okay, all right, let's try this again. Oh, it's actually working. Actually, didn't notice it, and it's showing here, showing there, which is not really supposed to show. So yeah, seeing that my username is required, but for some reason the Bootstrap classes we applied is not working. So what could be the problem? What could be the problem? What could be the problem? Okay. Uh, Looks like we've not even linked our Bootstrap classes here yet, right? Okay, so we're going to link our Bootstrap classes because I can see they're not linked yet. So we're going to come here. Of course, I'm going to open the link. Rel href. I think we have it in CSS. So it says CSS slash bootstrap. Yeah, bootstrap.me.css. So we're going to do the same thing for this JavaScript file, bootstrap and jQuery. So src, which is socks. So socks equals to js. What do we have there? JS folder, we have jQuery. So we're going to link jQuery first of all. Remember, if you're using Bootstrap with jQuery, with Bootstrap JavaScript, you must link jQuery first of all before you link the bootstrap.me.js. So I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it again, and of course this time around I'm going to be linking the bootstrap.me.js file. Then let's go back to the top, and right now let's refresh our page and see what is going on. Good, so we have the bootstrap class now working. So let's right click this a bit and see if we can, let's inspect this very quickly and see how we can adjust what we have here. So let's give this a padding. Okay, now padding top is 0. No, padding top and bottom, let's make it okay, 0. Okay, left and right, and 0 is now what I'm looking for. Okay, alert danger. Okay, so what if we take this particular height? Okay, so the height is the issue here. The height is the issue. So what if we give it height auto? Okay, I think that is making more sense. So give it height auto. That should be fine for now. Okay, so let's close this out and come back here. Sorry, we come back to our text editor or IDE, and we're going to give this a height of auto. Yep, then do the same thing here, height of auto. Okay, this is better. And then if you notice, whenever I try to submit the form again, whenever I refresh the page, the form tends to submit again, you see. So I'm going to try to fix this issue now. Okay, I'm going to try to fix this issue. So and to fix that, I'm going to add a JavaScript file at the footer. Okay, I'm going to add a JavaScript file at the footer to actually fix that. So I'm going to go to the body. I'll go to the body. So just around this particular location here. So I'm going to create a script tag here. Very quickly, I'm going to create a script tag. Okay, and here I'm going to write if. Okay, so if window dot history, sorry, if window dot history dot replace state. Okay, then here I'm gonna have window dot history, okay, dot replace state. Then give it first of all null, another null. Okay, then window dot href. Okay, window dot href. So we should be good to go. And I'm going to take this away. Good. Okay, so let's try this again. Come back here. Now this is going to submit obviously, but by the time I refresh again, you see it's no longer submitting any longer. Okay, that is taken care of. So very quickly we'll jump back to the code and let's continue with the form validation. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create an else if block again. So else if now this time around we are checking for the reg number. So we're going to check for the reg number. So if the reg number is empty, so if empty reg number, we want to do something again. So I'm going to copy this and paste. Oh, sorry about that. And paste here. But this time around, I'm changing this to message 2, and the message here will be registration number is required. So let us write that very quickly. Is required. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do here is to check for the input element here, which is this particular one. So see, we are requiring this. Okay, so if a user tries to submit the form without checking this particular section here, okay, we want to throw an error as well. So let's come back to the form and see the name we gave that particular section. So we give it a name of checkbox. Okay, so that's the last, I believe. Now so we're gonna add another else if here. Okay, so else if empty, another empty, and here we are using post, but the name is checkbox. The name is checkbox. So if it's empty, then we're going to throw another message, error message here. This time around, give this message 3, and we say accept academics terms and maybe conditions. Okay, all right. So now these are all the checks we are doing now. So if all of this check passes, then let's introduce our X statement here. So X, and the first thing we want to do here, we want to also check if the password, check for user password matching database password. So we want to check if the user password is matching database password here. So for that, we're going to create another SQL here, and this time around we're going to say select all from students, okay, where username is equals to the username. Okay, we're going to do that again here. Okay, username is equals to username, and of course the query here will be MySQL MySQL underscore query connection, and of course the SQL query itself. Okay, So we're going to write another query here. Now we're going to say if, okay, so if MySQLi underscore numRows query, of course, is greater than 0, okay, is greater than 0, then we want to do something here. So we want to open another result variable. Sorry about that. Put another result variable here again. So result will be equal to MySQLi underscore fetch array query. Okay. Now I want to check first of all for some variables here. The first one to check here is the DB reg number. Before we log a user in, we want to make sure that your reg number matches your reg number you're entering. Your reg number matches the one we have in the database. So DB reg number should be equal to fetching the reg number from the database. So we are putting that in a variable called DB reg number. So that will be equals to result. If you remember, the name of the column there was, we gave it its register number in the database. Okay, and to confirm that, I will just come to the database very quickly. So localhost php my admin. So let's quickly open the database so we can confirm that. So while that is loading, I will come back to my editor here. Then I'm going to also fetch the DB username again. So DB username will be equals to result username. Okay, result username. Alright. So now let's head back to our browser and confirm the database columns that we gave. So let's open the student table. Now as you can see, the column for the reg number, we gave it register number. Okay, so I will go back to my IDE. Now I'm fetching this and this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to compare another if block again. So I'm going to compare the reg number the user is giving to us from the input that's on the login form to the one we have in the database. Okay, I'll compare that for the username and also the reg number. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to compare for the username. So I'm going to say if db username equals the username the user is giving to us as coming from the input form. Okay, and db reg number equals to the reg number that is coming from the form. Okay, then we want to do something here. Okay, now x, I'm going to quickly add the s block here. So s, I'll copy this message again and I'm going to paste it here, and this will be message 4. So x, I want to tell the user to check their details. Okay, so here I want to say check your details, or say please check your details. Okay, please check your details. Now back to this particular place. So the next thing we're going to do here, if this actually works, we're going to generate a pin, okay, for the user or for the students. So this is a pin they will be using to check their result, part of the pin they will what they require to check their results. So every user that signs in, anytime you sign in, you get a unique pin that's generated for you. Okay, anytime you log in. Now to generate this pin, we're going to create a variable that will hold the pin. So call it generated underscore pin, and that will be equals to, I'm going to use your rand function, PHP function, to generate a random pin from 1000 to 99,999. Okay, so you're generating the pin. Sometimes this will give you a 4-digit number, sometimes this will give you a 5-digit number, and there is no way it will be the same for any user. So with that done, we're going to write another SQL statement here. Okay, and this will be to update the student table with the value of the pin. If you check on the table of the student, we have a value created for exam pin. Alright, so we're going to be updating this particular column whenever a student logs in with their particular pin. Okay, so back to the IDE. So update student table. Okay, I'm going to set exam pin to be equals to generated. Remember, we created a variable here called generated underscore pin. Okay, so if you don't put the where clause, then this will be the same thing for every user. So you have to put the where clause. So where username is equals to username variable. Okay, now with that done, very quickly let's write the query. So query equals my SQLi underscore query, of course connection and SQL. Okay, now so we're going to say if query. I'm going to check if the query was successful. So if the query was successful, so if query, okay, then we are going to open a section here. I'm going to create a section here. Section, a section is used to hold user information throughout the page, so you can monitor them throughout the page, when they are logged in and when they are not. You can also do this with cookies if we're going to be using section for this particular course. So create the section here, and we're going to also copy our message again. Copy this particular thing again, but this time around this will be message 4, which will be the login message. And this time around we are going to change few things here. So this is going to be alert dash success. Okay, alert dash success, and the message we are going to bring in here will be login successful. Okay, I'm going to tell the user login successful, and we're going to introduce a span here, and in this span we're going to add some style here, and the first thing we're going to do here is to give it a color of hashtag 4b7 4b7f, and of course 80. Okay, alright, then I'm going to put a text here that says redirecting. Okay, good. And before we close this, we're going to add, let me just bring this down a bit. Okay, bring this down a bit. Okay, so at the middle here I'm going to add the meta. I'm going to use this to redirect with HTML. So meta http-equiv, give it the name refresh. Okay, and of course the content here, you add a number, and this will be a number of seconds, how many seconds you want the page to take before refreshing. So I'm going to give it 4 seconds, and we want to redirect the user to dashboard.php. Okay, so now x, if the query wasn't successful, we are going to also take this message. Let's copy this again. Let's copy and paste that very quickly. Our time is fast spent. This video is getting a little bit long. I want to round it up. So this is the message 4, but this time around we're going to retain the alerts and alert danger, and here we're going to tell the user an error occurred. An error record, then tell them to try again. Please try again. Okay, all right, so let's test this very quickly. Okay, so let's test what we have. First of all, we need to echo the rest of these messages. Okay, message 2, message 3, and of course message 4. We need to echo them. Okay, now remember, message 2 is for the reg number, and message 3 is for the checkbox. So I'm going to copy this message 1, come here, put it under the span of the reg number, and I will do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing under, let's go back a bit, checkbox here, under the label of the checkbox. So we're going to paste this, and this of course message 3. Then message 4, we're going to have it just above the register form div. So this will be message 4. Okay, so let's very quickly refresh, go back to our page and see what we have. Let's refresh this first of all. So let's try logging in. Let's try to log in. So you can see we have an error here. Okay, so let's username, let's pretend the number above the username. So let's try to log in with an empty reg number. Okay, first of all, we're going to do something here. We're going to have a placeholder, so which means we're going to be creating few more variables here. So let's add few more variables. The first one will be username. So first of all, make it empty here. The next one is reg number. We're also going to make it empty here as well. Okay, so then we're going to come down to here, and in this particular place you're going to add a value, and inside the value we're going to have PHP tag, and we're going to say echo username. So this way we will retain the username even when the form is submitted. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and do the same thing for the reg number. I'm going to get rid of this require. So put the reg number here. Okay, so let's come back here and refresh. So this time around, if I enter a username, okay, let's say I go back to my database of people username. So this person's username is Alfred, ALFRED. So I'm going to enter Alfred. Now once I submit it, even what's going on, why does it not exist? Okay, so username does not exist. Let's see why that is happening. Okay, Alfred username doesn't exist. Username does not. Okay, if not username check, let's come back to the function. Username from students. Okay, okay, if username is equals to, okay, I'm having a space there. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, let's try with this one and see. Let's try with this one. Okay, the same thing. Okay, I think we have to fix the bug in our code that's causing this. Okay, so but this video is already 32 minutes long. I'm going to just stop this video here, and hopefully we finish this checking everything in the next video. Okay, so thank you guys for being in this course. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, so I'll see you again in the next video, and we're going to use this to hopefully necessary reflection objects will be done. So let's start.